Yeah. So this is going to be an exercise about how to test some programming instructions. The instruction we use in structure control language, structure text, the program elements that we can use, and this covers a few of those, not comprehensive, but a few of those instructions. Now, just calling of firmware functions, so Siemens call everything instructions. But let's have a look here. So this is the first exercise. Program instructions we are going to make. fbProgramInstructions you have, and we need an instance. We could call this one and call that one in program main again. And then we just add, as we do these exercises, we can add to this one. Okay, so what is it about? What we get now in this instance is organization blocks tasks, a function block, and an instance data block, and a little about a project, these structures, loops, case, and so watch table, arrays, firmware function, exponent we only use, a name and syntax that we use in this course about that. So what we are going to do, we are going to use this function block. We make an instance data block, call it IDB, program instructions. Program call to the function block or the instance data block. In program instructions, call this in some way in program main. Or test the function block by starting simulation, download the program, set the instance data block online. There are several outputs from the function block. And here are some tips. You can create a watch table to manipulate input and static data array of SI array, SI array. Static integer array is an integer array in the instance data block. All sections use the same inputs, or program examples use the same inputs, but they have, for each of the assignments, there is one output. So they are named the same as the assignment. The 7 is now an array, I think. And there are 11, and maybe there are some more too. So how to do this? Add your watch table, call it program instructions, CTI. There's a misspelling here. So add new. Double click on that one, add new, then you get a new one, rename it, and double click on it. I think you get new watch table or something. Rename it so you know what it is about, because you can keep it in your project. Double click it, and then it's going to be opened an empty one, and we need to put some data in it, and then we can use a split view here and have the instance data block that you made in one window and your watch table in another one. And the inputs here are not shown here, but then you can drag from this instance data block over to the watch table. So these are the inputs. That's common for all the assignments here. And then there is a static array 2 in here that's being used that you can change. And here are the results. And you can keep this in the split windows. You can manipulate here and watch the result on these outputs here. Now, if we look at the function block that we are going to use, if it's exported, you get all the inputs. See, the output is just an array of unsigned integers now, and the way it is. But what's important here, or what's of interest, is these are the instructions. Word one is a little and or ing, Boolean arithmetic. The other one too. And you see they use the same input all, and you just alter this input and check output 0, 1, 2. Here is positive edge test. If then else and if. You can test these, set these inputs and see what you get out here, out of the block, and you should get this number out, of course. We have a case statement. You try to output these. And you see the case is in the range 11 to 100, 101 or 110, or just 10, and else. It should test that. Then we have for loops. And here what it says on the top here too is use line comments or block comments to enable or disable code as necessary. A block comment is this constellation here. A line comment is this one. Yes, yeah. And as they use, they use the same output. What you should do is you should just comment out, or test this one first and comment out the rest. Here you can also just write return and don't execute the code, but make comments or whatever you do to test. So what we have is for, increase, decrease, while, how that works, and a repeat. And then we have this program flow that's working on an array, so you can test. We have the continue, just go on, and exit, just leave the loop. Yeah, then we have a little array handling. We are adding of values in an array, another array handling too with exponents. So yeah, this is the output 9, which is an array too. Yes, we put some exponents in arrays, array handling, program scan, timing using time tick. So this is using this long time tick that is in the project, in this template project, and you can test that. 11 is alternative timing using time tick. And then we have little floating point, square root, and here we can try cosine, sine, tangent, power of, and so on. And the natural logarithm and exponent. The exponent is, or here's the square root. So that is the assignment. So what you have to do here is you should download, we say download instance of the program. If you don't get any results here, it might be because you haven't called your instance data block. You have to find out how to do that. To call up an instance. So there's a little work in here and do the test. So that's the assignment. So this was the first assignment where we do testing of some, let's say, basic instruction and so on in TI portal. So what you have to do is to make an instance data block and call that instance data block in a program element that's called in the template project, something called program main in the template project. So that's the assignment. Then we test the if and edge test and so on, to do a little test of program elements in this, just to get to know it.